Hey everybody, welcome to what should be a really fun Thursday review of 100 horror movies. Not only are we going over a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a very long time, at the end of this we're going to be doing a giveaway for this Frankenstein piece that I did in honor of the Frankenstein review I did last week. You were able to get entries for this by following on TikTok and Instagram, and even as a Patreon follower, you were automatically entered into this as well. But we'll go into all those details a little bit later at the end when we do the drawing. I want to thank you guys for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch this review. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button below. And also don't forget to comment. I love hearing from you guys. So let's find out what movie we watched. This week we are going over one that I've been wanting to watch for a very long time called Freaks from 1932. This was based off of a short story called Spurs, written by Todd Robbins. I've known about this movie since I was probably 14 or 15 years old, and it has been on my list for a very long time to watch, and for some reason I never pulled the trigger on it. I'm so glad that I waited, and that I'm able to do this review after just watching it fresh for the first time. And I did have the pleasure of watching this with Star, which led to some cool conversations throughout the movie and then after the movie as well. The original version of this was 90 minutes long, and without the consent of the director, it was cut down to 64 minutes, leaving out a lot of the story. The way that Freaks was described to me when I was younger, which caught my attention the most, is that it follows a traveling circus and sideshow troupe, and the story revolves around a very beautiful trapeze artist that joins the sideshow, but treats the freaks really unfairly and really poorly, and she's cruel to them and just all around not a good person. And the freaks get revenge on her for it. The actual plot of it is even more intriguing than, I guess, the revenge plot I was originally told. Now, as I explain a little bit about this movie, you may see a comparison to something else that you've watched, and we will touch base on that a little bit later in the video. A more in-depth plot crunch of this is that the beautiful trapeze artist is the love interest of one of the dwarves in the sideshow. And when she finds out that he has inherited a lot of money, she plots to marry him and kill him so that she can steal the inheritance, which is a really terrible plan, when in actuality, she is in love with the strongman from the circus. When the rest of the sideshow performers find out what's going on, they inform Hans and plot revenge to give her just desserts. Now, when I was told about this, I was under the impression that when the freaks got their revenge, they disfigured her and made her one of them. And I don't know why in my mind I thought they just scarred her up so she wasn't beautiful anymore and was atrocious to look at, which was not at all the revenge that happened. I don't want to give away what actually happens to her, but I will let you know that they do make her one of them in a way that really caught me off guard, probably because I had a preconceived notion of what she was going to look like. And I actually rewound the video to watch that scene again to kind of dissect and really absorb the image that I was seeing. I had mentioned that the original version of this was 90 minutes long, and when Star and I were talking about the movie only being an hour long, there are so many characters and performers in this film that I wanted to know more of their story. I wanted to see what was going on. There was so much going on in this circus that you couldn't just fit into a 60-minute film. I would have liked to see that really fleshed out. And I had made the comment that I would have liked to see a remake of this, but it dawned on me, The remake of this that I want is American Horror Story's Freak Show season. Spread out over the whole season, you get the really in-depth story and some of the background of a lot of these performers, which you just couldn't do crammed into a 2 or even 3 hour long movie. So the fact that they did it as a series or a season in that format really was what I was looking for. If you've already seen the American Horror Story Freak Show season and enjoyed it, I definitely think you would see that maybe Freaks was the origin or definitely inspiration for that season, and that alone might be enough of a reason for you to check it out. I do want to touch base on a couple of things that happened behind the scenes of the movie back then. The cast of sideshow performers and freaks were actually really sideshow performers and people with disabilities. The Siamese twins, the Pinheads, the Half a Boy, the Skeleton Man, all of those people were really performing in sideshows at the time this movie was being filmed. And when they were brought to MGM for filming, it made a lot of the other MGM employees uncomfortable. And because of that, they were not allowed to walk around the lot of MGM Studios, which I think is total BS. How are you going to cast them in a movie and then not allow them to walk around the lot like every other member just because, but that kind of goes along with the plot of the movie. A lot of movie critics said that this was a comparison of the class separation of what was going on in America, where you had the rich and the lower class. No, don't try to force another perspective on this. This movie, in any situation like this, is a separation of the pretty and normal people and the freaks and outcasts of the world. It doesn't have to do with your class or what was going on during the Great Depression. It has to do with how you treat people and who you are as a person. There is a scene where all of the freaks were singing, we accept her, one of us, one of us. And they were open to having a normal person join their ranks because they thought she was accepting of them. Little did they find out that she was actually a not nice person and was not one of them because she was garbage. She was trash. She judged people specifically by how they looked and not who they were as a person. So this movie critic, and I'm absolutely going to use air quotes on calling me a critic of any kind, this is for the popular kids in high school that picked on the outcasts or the geeks and the nerds and don't be crappy people. Everybody is different in their own way. Don't be mean to people based on how they look. Stop it. It's dumb. So I believe the moral of this story is don't be a trash person and appreciate everybody because one day the meek will inherit the earth. So this is normally the part where we get to the scratching of the movie, but I want to give away some free art. So over the last week, I have been writing down the names of anybody that has tagged anybody in the Instagram post or the TikTok post and the Patreon members. Right now, we currently have 2 tiers. We have a $1 tier and a $5 tier, which gets you access to a Monday movie review as well. If you are part of the $1 tier on Patreon, you got an entry into this. If you're part of the $5 tier, you got 2 entries into this. With that being said, we have 23 entries added into this picker wheel that I have online. So I am going to turn this camera around so that we can see the random drawing and see who wins. Let's check it out. All right, you'll have to forgive the shaky camera. I'm holding it with one hand as I'm getting ready to spin. Good luck, everybody. Oh, that is Jim from Patreon. That's Jim O'Keefe. Congratulations, man. I will be in touch with you shortly to get you set up with your Frankenstein piece. Congratulations. So, Jim O'Keefe, you have won a piece of art from me signed on the bottom. I will get this out to you shortly, and I'll be messaging you as well. Congratulations. If you guys like these giveaways, let me know, and maybe I'll set another one up in another week or so. And now that we've gotten the artwork giveaway out of the way, it's time for the scratching. Okay. So this is the scratching of the Freaks. That, of course, is the beautiful trapeze artist, which means I may have an idea of what's behind here. Let's check it out. Oh, okay, I was wrong. I'm surprised that they went with the picture of the Pinheads for the behind the scene here, but they are a very memorable group from the sideshows. No, yeah, this is... And we have that there for that. All right, so that is the scratching off of Freaks from 1932. It looks like the next one we're doing is called Vampire, but spelled with a Y. I have no idea what that movie is, so I'm very excited to check it out and see. I hope everybody has enjoyed this. And again, congratulations to Jim for winning this. I guess that's another perk of being a Patreon member. So if you guys want to hop over and check out the $1 and $5 tier, I'll put a link in the description below. I want to thank you guys again for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Hopefully you're enjoying the movies that we're going over. Hopefully it sparked you into going and watching them on your own. Big shout out and big thank you very much to all of the Patreon subscribers whose names are popping up in a second. It means a lot that you guys again are continuing to support and watch, and hopefully you're enjoying the Monday movie reviews as well. Until then, I will catch you guys next Thursday. Later days. Is the love interest of one of the dwarves. I'm sorry that I did it like this.